Let's take a look at that starting grid, because you mentioned Ashton was in 8th place, but it's Cameron Beaubier. Didn't quite break the track record, but still a 2:07 flat is extremely fast.
But how about Jake Gagne? Only 3/10 off that, Greg, and Herron's going to round out the front row. STK 1 second back on that Suzuki. Bobby Fong and Escalante. Great to see the M4 bikes just continuing to get better and better with the hard work of that team. Gillum, Yates, and Beach all Honda row 3. Flinders, Nolan Lampkin, and Ben Smith on row number 4. We got Bryce Cornbrow, Jason Waters, and from Australia, Max Stouffer. Great to see him over here. Danilo Lewis, Dion Campbell, and Bobby Davis outside of row number 6. A little further back, good to see Alex Arango, Zach Schumacher, Blackman, and Joe Giannato, who we've seen for many years now in our MotoAmerica paddocks.
12 laps scheduled in Superbike race number 1. The lights are on, so we're getting ready to go. Here we go, clutch is out, good launch. It looked like Josh Herron might have got an extremely good launch.
Gagne.
He's up the inside is Gagne, so position goes to the number 1 plate, and once again, the Ducati rider puts himself in a great position, and he'll lead.
Bobby Fong from the second row, Greg, also got a tremendous launch. He's going to see him there slot into the 4th.
One season on the back of 17 race wins out of 20 in a season.
And I know it sounds crazy. We're talking about these top 3 guys that we've been talking about this year for the championship. Jake Gagne is 58 points back. We still got 5 rounds to go as Cameron Beaubier is going to take a look now up the inside of Gagne. Gagne has put together a fairly consistent year, and a year that I don't think he'd be that happy with, just because he's still been fighting a few little problems. But you see, Greg, he's more than capable of still battling at the front. Herron comes across the lead with about a 0.2 of a second lead as Bobby Fong now takes a shot at Gagne in the S's, and he's going to go through on his teammate. So now we have those top 3 that we know are in the championship battle running 1, 2, and 3.
Josh Herron looking awfully good out front right now, Jamie.
Yes, and after falling back to 3rd in those championship point standings, he said he had to come into this weekend and really just reevaluate what it was he was spending all of his time thinking about. And he thinks he was spending too much time thinking about those little championship points. He said, I'm a rider. I have to come out here and ride and just let everything else work its way out. And that all starts off with a Good Friday. And this weekend, yesterday, he had that Good Friday. And he said those 2 weekends that didn't pan out, that was Mid-Ohio and VIR, those are behind him now. His head's forward, and he's focusing on the big picture.
Well, the bike setup isn't great here. I'm going to work my way around it. There's a look at a couple of Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzukis. That's the number 40 of Kelly, and 54 is Escalante. And one of the things you'll notice is the new livery for the weekend. This is the 40th anniversary of the GSXR. Just in general, the Suzuki GSXR.
The problem is you don't want to start going too fast in slow corners, because that's where your biggest mistakes can be made. So you think of our riders right now, they're having to go through these first gear corners as much as they are. Bobby Fong, they're extremely tight. I've seen him a couple times now into this big, long turns 16, 17, and 18, and just kind of play it a bit coy. We're only 4 laps into a 12-lap race. I suspect that by about lap 7, 8, we'll start to see these tires, we'll start to see a little bit more movement in the tires because of the heat, and a little bit more strategy will start playing out on who's got the better bike.
So the top 3 in order, and Gagne, not losing anything, is right back in tow.
Oh,
no!
Man, he tried to save that. Gosh, you could see it happening from so far back. That front end just started to tuck, and he was trying so hard to save it.
These top 3, another look at it.
It's just going to happen so slow. There's a small, tiny bump. I want to see if he hits it on the very inside apex. See it? It's right at the apex of that turn. It just was enough to get the bars turned a little bit sideways. He did everything he could, and thank goodness it pirouetted him off to the inside of the track. If relatively soon we see Bobby Fong start taking a couple of shots at the guys in front of him. Keep in mind, he rode around the outside of his teammate out of turn 2 going to turn 3.
Yeah, we look at the top speeds down the back straightaway as Fong. Oh, look like
see it, right?
Yeah, he's definitely got pace in the corners. I think it's when he gets on the back straightaway and pulls the trigger. It just doesn't have enough to pass at this point. But neither does Cameron Beaubier.
But look at it. See the pace that even Bobby has down through that fast left, and Cam is gonna, as a rider, you start to feel around you, getting that better start, getting himself up front with these guys first, and going from there. What else can you tell us about Richie, Jamie?
Over the course of the weekend, through the sessions, Richie's been more and more enthused with the setup that team has been able to come to. And
so Josh Herron is on the Dunlop R5. When we talk about these numbers, the lower the number, the softer the compound. So all those riders are on an R5 front, and Josh Herron is on the hardest option R7 rear. So Herron's got the hardest option tire, which doesn't necessarily pay dividends.
But I just wonder about Bobby's front tire. entering a little bit tighter into some of these corners can sometimes abuse it. Watch here where these two guys are. Bobby's a lot tighter on the entrance to this long right-hander than the two in front now.
Yeah. And I just think right now probably the most frustrated rider here is going to be Bobby, because he's got two guys racing hard in front of him. And he just can't find a way through, Greg, can he? I mean, it just seems like really difficult. Herring gets a little bit loose on the exit there. Bobby's a little bit closer this time as far as maybe getting a draft, but almost half a second quicker than the guys in front of him. Here comes Cameron Bobby. He's going to make a bid.
There goes Bobby at the inside. He's had enough of following Herron, so he'll take over the lead into the S's. And now we're going to see if there's anything in the tank that Bobier has when he learned following Herron.
Ducati's going to do everything he can. So this is Cameron getting close enough into turn 2 and just straightening the bike up right and almost going, you see him, Greg, go over the inside paint down into turn 3. See how tight Cameron went in there? That's going to kind of mess up his drive a little bit. Let's see if he can get that BMW up and out without getting drafted by this Ducati. I think Herron's too close to him still.
Yeah, I think Bobier made a mistake there thinking that Herron was going to try to attack him. I understand the racecraft, but it's cost him as Herron goes up the inside. He's got position on Bobier, and he's going to let off the brake lever. They go side by side, and Herron retakes the spot.
Yep, this is, so to your point, Cameron knew that Herron's a guy that's going to come right back after you, and Cameron goes right back after Herron.
Wow.
And he's going to make that pass stick.
Jason, you talked about points, a 17 between
Look at
Bobby
this,
Fong
look at
and
this.
look at Herron. Right up the inside he goes. Can he hold the line? No, oh, Bobier. That was courteous. He could have tried to force the issue, but Herron's knee was right there.
Hey, man, that guy behind him in fourth is loving watching this all happening right in front of him.
Exactly.
So let's see if he does that. He's going to open that up, and you can't get through there. As we see, Max Flinders has had a problem. There only one guy in the 209s, and that is Richie Escalante.
A braking opportunity, and there's Escalante, and it looks like he's out of it.
Did his bike break?
Josh Herron under control off the back straightaway on this final lap. Cameron Bobier is running out of real estate if he's going to make a move. Herron's so good because Bobier gave it to him a couple laps too early.
Oh, this is where it's going to get tricky. Herron's going to run it tight into this next left and not allow anybody to come up underneath him. Cameron Bobier wanted to try it. There's no way. I knew Herron. Now Bobby's going to go tight here to try to go up underneath Bobier possibly, but he's not going to get close enough either.
Herron needs a new helmet design. He needs to put eyes on the back of his helmet because he knows what his competition is up to, as Josh Herron has put on an unbelievable display. Here comes Bobby Fong up the inside. Is he going to get one position? No! And he crosses back, and Bobier's not going to give it to him. But that's going to allow... Oh, here comes Bobier all the way to the apex. He's trying to get a turn, but Josh Herron squares it up. Is Bobier going to lose second place?
Oh,
no,
man.
he's able to hold on.
Wow.
And Herron with a big race win. What a victory.
What a race.
For the Californian. Bobier able to hold on by 31/100ths of a second.
On the exit of that last corner. But man, and it's so clean watching these three guys race against each other. There was nothing in that race that you could say about anything that anybody...
Josh Herron, I thought he was definitely going to lose second place as well, but only Bobier would be able to get that bike stopped and turned around.
Yeah, 4 races left in the season, and Bobier back in contention. Josh Herron showing that form.
Like you said, he was the quickest rider on track there mid-race.
Yeah, and over the course of the season so far, coming into this one, obviously it's been pretty close between himself and his teammate Sean Dillon Kelly. SDK's had that 1 lap pace advantage in the qualifying session, so many front rows. But Richie, again in this race, able to show that it can come back to him, and he's going to be looking forward to tomorrow's race for sure.
Yeah, he will. And, you know, for Sean, he's going to be a little disappointed with the race today where he finished and not be in that battle with the fight with the teammate and the leaders as well. So Sean's got a little work to do, but him and that team will work hard and come out fighting tomorrow.
We saw another top 5 finish as well for Hayden Gillimet there on the Honda, and 5 different manufacturers up there in those top 5 positions. Again, just shows the variety we want to see in the Superbike class.
Yeah, it's great to see 5 brands in the top 5, and to your point, that's what we want to see. Just all the different brands have the same opportunity to get out there and fight for wins. And you know, for Hayden, one of the sessions he didn't get a lap in. So
here's a look at those results as Josh Herron 0.3 seconds over Bobier. Bobier took the shot on the last lap, but Herron was in the perfect position. Then Fong, Gillum, and Kelly. Let's get down to Jamie. And the good news on this one for JD Beach is that 101 points ahead for JD Beach. He wraps up